Hi golfers, Nick here from American Golf. I'm down at Thurrock Store today, and today I'm looking at mid-handicapper irons. So I've done some videos recently looking at more blades or slight cavity muscle back irons. This time we're looking at more of a cavity back iron, which would generally fit into sort of a mid-handicapper bracket, but you'd also see some single-figure handicappers using these irons. So I've picked out 6 major brands. I'm going to go through, first of all, the appearance of the clubs. As I've done in all these videos, looking at appearance, the feel of the clubs, the performance and the price, and give an overall total to choose my best club from this category. So I've got 6 clubs. First up, we're going to take a look at the appearance, and I'm going to take them in order of the best appearance in my opinion. So first up we've got Mizuno JPX 900 Hot Metal. I don't know what it is about Mizuno, but they just make fantastic looking clubs. Looks great behind the ball. It's a slightly thicker top line than the JPX 900 Forge, but fantastic looking club. 5 points out of 5. As I've done with all these reviews, the top club will get 5 points, down to 0 for the worst appearance. Next up in the appearance, 4 points out of 5 is the Titleist AP1. Again, Titleist always make great looking clubs. I'm a big fan of the AP2, as you may know, but AP1, slightly bigger version of AP2, great looking club, 4 points out of 5. Next up we've got the Ping G, which I think for Ping actually looks quite good. I know in the past with the G range, looking from above, it looks quite a thick top line, but the way they've sort of shaved the top line here, I think they've done a great job. So it doesn't actually look so big. It's that sort of sitting over the ball. It's got quite a classic looking face. There's not too much going on as in some of the irons in this category. So pretty good effort there from Ping. 3 points out of 5. Next up, we've got the Callaway XR Steelhead. Again, in terms of the shape, it's a bit rounded for my liking. You've got sort of two-tone. It's not the best looking iron in my opinion, but it's also not the worst. So 2 points out of 5 for Callaway. And then finally, we've got 2 clubs at the end. We've got Taylormade M2, which I'm going to give 1 point out of 5. I just don't like. There's a lot going on with the sort of the speed slots and the face slots. I like to look at a more classic looking club in my opinion. So 1 point out of 5 for Taylormade, and then 0 points out of 5 for the Wilson D300. It's not a bad looking club, but I'm not a massive fan of all these urethane parts. I prefer to look more of a classic looking club. It's not a bad looking club, but it's not the best compared to the ones that I'm looking at today. So that rounds up the appearance of the clubs. So next up, I'm going to test the clubs. I'm using the KBS Tour shafts as I use in all these videos. So the same shaft in each of the heads. The Mizuno is a 6 iron, so I'm going to bear that in mind. I'm going to hit all these shots into a green. Obviously the Mizuno I'm going to set a bit further back because it's a 6 iron, but I'm going to hit these into the green, and I'm going to let you know what I think of the feel, and we're going to take a look at the performance and the price.
There are these things at the back of my mind, words unsaid that I try to hide from love. I know there are these things at the back of my mind, things we left that I try to find my love. I know, would you go back, would you go back? Tell me, do you think about it late at night? Would you go back, would you go back? Tell me, do you see we're that pride? I'm chasing pictures and I'm gonna keep smiling. I'm running places that we only ever know in the dark. I wanna try and sum it up, but I don't know where to start. I have to give it to you, baby, I'm creating the art. Would you go back, would you go back? Would you go back, would you go back? Would you go back, would you go back? There are these things at the back of my mind, words unsaid that I try to hide from love. I know there are these things at the back of my mind, things we left that I try to find my love. I know, would you go see when we're in that light. I'm chasing pictures and I'm gonna keep smiling. I'm running places that we only ever know in the dark. I wanna try and sum it up, but I don't know where to start. I have to give it to you, baby, you're creating the art. Chasing pictures and I'm gonna keep smiling. I'm running places that we only ever know in the dark. I wanna try and sum it up, but I don't know where to start. I have to give it to you, baby, you're creating the art.
Okay, so you've seen me hit 10 shots of each club there on GC2. I hit them into the green. The 7 irons were set up to about 160 from the pin, and the 6 iron with the Mizuno was set up about 170. So you saw me hit them into the green, and on first impression, all the clubs, they were pretty good. I think all the clubs from the major brands are all very good, but they all have their slight differences. So that's the whole point of me trying to do these videos, trying to get these points across. So I've given my opinion on the appearance of the clubs. I'm also going to now look at the feel, because I think that's quite important. When you're hitting some shots, you get feedback on the feel, the sound. I think that's quite important when you're choosing a set of clubs. Like I've said in the past, performance is important, but also the looks and the feel. So first up, feel. In no particular order, I'm just going to go through these clubs. First up, Ping G. I've given that 3 points out of 5. I was quite impressed with the feel. I thought it would be more springy off the face, but actually felt pretty solid for a head that's a little bit bigger than some of the others. I thought the Ping was really good. So 3 points out of 5 for feel. The Taylormade M2 is a little bit disappointed. It feels like it springs off the face. For some people that may be a good thing, but for me, it doesn't feel I quite have the control as some of the other irons in the range. So 1 point out of 5 for the M2. The best feel was actually the Titleist AP1. It was a close call between the Titleist and the Mizuno. They both felt really good. The Titleist just felt that little bit better. I was quite impressed with AP1, to be fair. I do use AP2, but AP1 is a great club. I would definitely consider using it, maybe especially in the longer irons, and maybe using the AP2 in the short irons, but great club, Titleist AP1, 5 points out of 5. Next up was Callaway XR. Unfortunately, 0 points out of 5 for Callaway. Didn't get on with the feel. It felt too springy off the face. Didn't really feel I had much feedback from it. Didn't like the sound of it, so unfortunately 0 points out of 5 for Callaway. 4 points out of 5 for Mizuno. Great looking club. Mizuno, they make fantastic clubs that feel great, and they always score highly in these tests that I do. So 4 points out of 5 for Mizuno. 2 points out of 5 for Wilson D300. It felt a bit better than I thought it would, but not as good as the Ping, the Titleist and the Mizuno. So 2 points out of 5 for the Wilson. Next up is the performance, and obviously a really key category when you're looking at clubs. And I hit them all pretty well, but I took a look at the dispersion of the shot. So on GC2 it gives you a little circle and dispersion, and I've graded the smallest dispersion 10 points out of 10, and obviously the worst 0 points out of 10. Obviously double the points in this round because the performance is a key category. So with 8 points out of 10 was actually the Ping G, so the second best performing club. I was impressed with the G, so 8 points out of 10. The actual worst performing club was actually the Taylormade M2, which got 0 points out of 10. The third best performing club was the Titleist AP1. It was going really well, I was hitting it really solid. The last couple of shots towards the end, I hit one to the right, one to the left, I think, and that just sort of affected the averages. Other than that, it was looking like the Titleist was probably going to win overall, but it wasn't much in it, so 4 points out of 10 for the Titleist. Callaway XR, 2 points out of 10, a little bit disappointed with that club. Mizuno JPX, pretty good, just wasn't as good as the Ping. So 6 points out of 10 for the Mizuno, and the surprise winner is actually the Wilson D300. Had the smallest dispersion, felt really comfortable to hit it. I was quite impressed with the Wilson, so 10 points out of 10 for that. So next up we're going to take a look at the price, which I think is a really key category. It can sway the decision when you're buying a set of clubs. So we're going to look at the price of a set of 4 to pitching wedge, 7 clubs in steel shaft, and they can be custom fitted for American Golf. So the cheapest set will get 5 points, which was the Wilson D300 at $499. Second cheapest set was the Ping Gs at 559.99, so that gets 4 points. Then we had 3 sets at 599.99, which is the Taylormade M2, the Titleist AP1, and the Callaway XR. So they all scored 2 points out of 5. And the most expensive set at 649.99 was actually the Mizuno JPX Hot Metal, so that gets 0 points out of 5. So I've tested all those categories. I'm now going to total up all the points and give you my opinion on the best performing club out of these 6. So in 6th place was actually the Taylormade M2, which scored 4 points. In 5th place was the Callaway XR, which scored 6 points. So that left 4 clubs: Mizuno, Titleist, Wilson D300 and the Ping, and they all performed really well. It wasn't much between them, it's 3 points between the 4 clubs. But in tied 3rd place was Titleist AP1 and Mizuno JPX Hot Metal, both fantastic clubs, but they both scored 15 points. In 2nd place was Wilson D300 with 17 points. I was really impressed with the Wilson. It's the first time I've brought them into a review like this, and they perform really well. They feel good. I'm not keen on the looks, but performance and feel was really good. Overall winner was the Ping G, which I thought looked good, felt good, and it performed really well with 18 points. So Ping, in my opinion, was the best club in this category. So golfers out there, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps me. I'm sure you've got your own opinions, but that's my opinion on the clubs that I tested today. If you've got any comments on those, put them in the box below. And if there's any of these clubs you want to try, come down to any American Golf and we'll be happy to help you out.
Think about it late at night. Would you go back? Would you go back? Tell me they say we're in that pride. I'm chasing pictures and I'm gonna keep smiling. I'm running places that we only ever know.